Well, it's Saturday the 20th of February. This is episode 2107 of 301 Permanently Moved.online, a personal podcast 301 seconds in length, written, recorded, and edited by me, at the JMO. I'd like to offer my thoughts, prayers, and solidarity with the people of Texas, especially to anyone listening affected by the slow motion disaster occurring there. Despite the disaster and the situation in the present, I'm looking forward to reading pieces of in-depth analysis that are going to emerge over the next couple of years. The infrastructural issues, the local government response, maintenance debt, and the unaddressed risks around winterization issues that, as I understand it, have been known to grid operators since 2011. I was speaking to someone this week, and they pointed out that the cold snap in Texas transects two different areas of interest for me: stacktivism and solarpunk. Stacktivism was a term I coined back in 2013 as a portmanteau of the stack and activism. Stacktivism is a term that attempted to give form to a critical conversation and line of inquiry around infrastructure and the relationship we have to it. Or put more simply, who controls the means of not dying? The term now is perhaps more closely associated with the work of Ben Bratton following the publication of The Stack on Software and Sovereignty in 2015. But I have always used the stack as a more general shorthand to allude to the ensemble of discrete technologies operating at different levels of abstraction, vertically integrated to produce one, generally nominally seamless user experience. Or put more simply, infrastructure. The stack is the enormous complex system of technologies that literally shapes our cities, culture, and society. This system has embedded politics, assumptions, and biases. For example, assumptions made by the Victorians on how water infrastructure should best be managed still lean through time and affect us today. To quote Paul Graham-Raven, infrastructure's a trap we sprung on ourselves long ago. The danger of this trap is only ever revealed when it's sprung, when a tap turns and the water doesn't come, or the brittle, just-in-time fulfillment processes of major supermarkets result in empty shelves at the beginning of a pandemic. In the case of Texas, centralized utilities unable to deal with extreme cold resulting in malfunctions in natural gas operations. Combine this with shallow thinking and even shallower water pipes above the frost line, millions of people have found themselves without power, watching their homes flood and freeze. The activism part of stacktivism was there because, to my mind, of the misdirected energy of the Occupy movement. In response to the problem of systemic abstract finance, Occupy failed to orient itself towards any serious interrogation of the material systems that we are embedded within. Solarpunk, of course, as I am keen to remind anyone who asks, sees infrastructure as a potential site of resistance. Adam Flynn, writing in 2013, quoted Shoke Lumumba, the late mayor of Jackson, Mississippi's now famous line: "Dealing with infrastructure is a protection against being robbed of one's self-determination." The events in Texas have revealed the fragility of the infrastructure around us. I do not wish to diminish other types of disaster, people suffering from the aftermath of floods, fires, hurricanes, earthquakes, etc. They are all terrible. But to me, there is something about quote-unquote modern humans reduced to cold apes shivering in dark concrete caves that resonates with me deeply. The climate, of course, is a central character in any solarpunk narrative, the wild adversary. The Texas disaster has all the elements of a solarpunk story. Catastrophe caused by the climate, greedy private corporations ignoring safety warnings, crazy libertarian mayors saying stuff like, "only the strong will survive and the weak will perish," on Facebook, right-wing media blaming renewables and spinning the widespread failure of gas wells, pipelines, and power plants as an excuse to say, "this proves we need more gas and coal plants," and also the strangeness of it being freezing cold in Texas. I'm sure there are many stories of mutual aid, junkyard engineering, and people finding solidarity in adversity on the ground in Texas amongst the snow. But all of the above isn't speculative. They are ongoings in the world right now. One of the things I've been writing about for a book recently is how solarpunk has a dislocative quality. How solarpunk's conceptual bricolage, or practice of juxtaposition of ideas on Tumblr, allows us to rethink the present. History does not belong to anyone, nor does the future. Instead, we live together in a common present made up of many pasts. The speculative present, then, is about how life can be made more wonderful for us right now. Dougal Hine recently introduced me to the work of Kerry Facer, and the term, the thick present. Facer says that unlike the linear understanding of history we inherit from book thinking, the human subjective experience of temporality is radically different. Ideas of the future shape what is experienced in the present. The experience of the present shapes ideas about the past. The reading of the past informs ideas of future possibility. Cold Texas provides us with an opportunity to see the present as it is right now. Just as the material conditions embedded in the stack lean through history, the way we choose to see the world right now will lean in turn into other people's presence.